All right, this is going to be our engine bay portion for our Mini Cooper inspection. A couple covers that I popped here, they're just press clips. Battery looks like it's been replaced recently. There's no markings on month and date, but it looks pretty fresh. They did do a treatment on there for corrosion. Brake fluid under here. Looks really good, nice clean, not dark or anything like that. Coolant looks really good. Checking down here, you can see your crash rail supports all look really good. Doesn't look like these bolts have been adjusted or anything like that. Going on passenger, same story here. Really good line. No obvious repairs or anything like that. Oil was clean, nice and full. The car gets up and goes really well. Achieves speed without any problem. One thing to find on our, just looking over, on the inlet here, you'll see some residue. That's most likely the breather element here. So that's supposed to just circulate blow by. It just might be with the mileage over time, it hasn't been cleaned in a while. You can see all through here, we have some residue that's been cleaned. You can kind of see where they wiped at it. Tall tale sign for me was the residue that was on the frame rail down here that was missed. You can kind of see on this side a little darker there too, kind of missed some areas. On the back side here, did have some more residue that was obvious. So I would just keep a close eye on that. If it seems like it gets wet or anything, maybe it's something that they cleaned but didn't address, or maybe it was something that was cleaned when it was addressed. All right. Transmission on these, you did have a note to check on those. These are sealed, so essentially you need to have either someone who knows how to check them on a lift, or you can get it checked at the dealer. They're basically, there'll be a check plug on the back end of these. Can't really get it to while it's on the ground here. Other thing with the timing chain on these vehicles, it is a lubricated component versus the belts that weren't lubricated, so it is sealed inside your timing cover here. This is actually the notch for the timing chain. So basically, if you don't have records of that being serviced, or if the customer doesn't have any info on there that you're buying it from, it would be a good thing to get it inspected. I know they have like inspection windows on these modern engines for timing chains. It's not really something that they really replace if you're not having problems. They tend to be doing the job. All right, this is going to conclude our engine bay inspection. All right, we're going to start here with our exterior on this 2012 Mini Cooper. This is a very dark green color here. Has the mini stripes on there with the white roof. Has the dual sunroofs or moonroofs because they don't slide, I guess. Has the HID or incandescent lights, fog lights. Everything worked really good on the drive. Coming up here, we always like to look at our body gaps on these Mini Coopers. It's pretty hard to get them back straight if they've ever had any major work. All of our gaps are nice and flush. So this is a panel, this is a panel, this is a panel, and they all kind of come together here. So looking really solid, straightforward, all the way around. I did put a note, you can see on the plastics, there's some oxidation happening here, and on the chrome parts too, just over time. Couple scratches like that all around the car, but overall pretty good as far as like panels. Doesn't look like there's been any significant work done on the vehicle. Some oxidation on those plastics. The other thing I was able to see kind of with the paint, it's hard to tell on the video, but there is I don't know if it's been bulged out and pushed in, or it was pushed in and pulled out. It's kind of hard to tell. It's smooth, but you can see in the paint that there's been some damage there at one point. Bumper lines up and everything, the radar and everything still works really good, so I'm not sure what hit there. No significant damage on the inside. Latch is good, body line's good. So one thing I just noticed, the vehicle does have tint. Did notice these fingers on the side here. I don't know how long the tint's been there. It's probably too long to work those out at this point. You can see we got a lighter in the front, darker in the rear. It's normal for Washington. And I don't know if I mentioned it already, but this is all-wheel drive, badging on the side. This is going to conclude our exterior portion. All right, we're going to do a quick underside inspection here. You can see your cats right off the turbo on these cars. Nice and clean.
There's more of that residue that I was talking about from the top side. I'm gonna kind of tilt this a little bit. And you see a little bit of wetness. We'll get a better eye on that from the side here in just a moment. But overall, cat and everything's still there. Factory exhaust, nice quiet. You kind of see the whole body from here. We're gonna take a peek at each corner.
All right, this is gonna be the driver front corner lift point. You see the body there. Got heat shield resonator. Turn, push in a little bit. You can kind of see the suspension components, subframe, everything looks good. I don't see any scrapes or damage or anything like that. We're gonna go to the back here. All right, this is gonna be the rear. That's your fuel tank there as well. Lift point here, in pretty good shape. No folds, no damage or any kind of rust buildup on there too. That's always good. Still has a skid plate for the fuel tank. All the heat shields look to be intact as well. We're gonna go from the rear. All right, this is underneath from the rear, looking on the driver's side, following the frame here. All the drive components. This is an all-wheel drive model. You can see the suspension, axle, everything looks good. Car is running, so as I said, stock exhaust sounds good. Switch sides. All right, same thing. You can see the whole crash support, chassis, frame, suspension. All looks really good. Nothing hanging, nothing dragging, nothing loose, rubbing against anything. All right, this is going to be the passenger side rear corner. Our lift point here again, good shape. Everything's secure. This blue line did catch my attention. It looks like it's newer or has been replaced recently. Doesn't really show any signs of age on there compared to everything else. Keep moving. All right, this is the passenger front corner here. Gonna take a look at the lift point. Everything looks good there. Better visual on the heat shield. Our subframe, all good shape. No rust, no flaking. I'm gonna switch to the other side of the tire. I want to address that leak. All right, this is behind the oil pan, just behind, like where the axle and everything goes. You can see quite a bit of wetness there. Probably one thing to basically check on. It is an active drip. Not sure what's causing it. Normally there is coolant pump up there, or water pump I mean, with a crossover pipe, so I'm usually looking for water over there, but I found oil, so keep an eye on that. All right, this is the interior portion on the 2012 Mini Cooper. Currently at the time of inspection, we had 136,506 miles. We did have a check engine light that popped on during the drive. There is a message for the gas cap being loose. The guy was aware. Looks like he's been dealing with that a little bit. You can see your speedometer here in the middle with your map and all your infotainment options. This is going to be your RPM, check engine light, turn signals, cruise control, the basic info you need to see while driving. Steering wheel controls, you'll see there is some wear here, a little bit of wear here, but paddle shifts go up. I believe pushing goes down, pulling goes up. And then there is a sunroof in the car. It's a dual front and then a rear portion. They do tilt. I didn't get it to slide. I don't believe this is part of that option. Climate control here. Heat and AC work really well. Auto settings also work really well. The buttons here, or switches I guess, are going to control your windows. They all work really well. Lower buttons there for fog lights and everything also work. And then on your shifter here you can see the manual option. This is how you control the infotainment, make selections, move around. There is a button on the bottom of this here that changes the information that you see on this screen. Mirror adjustments down here at the bottom also working well. This car does have tint. We're on the inside so it's not as obvious, but it's all the way around. And then I'm going to pause here and open up all the doors here. All right, this is going from the outside looking in on the driver's side. These do have manual adjustments, up, down, forward, back, as well as the back recline. Pedals, good shape. There's these all-weather mats all the way through the car. They are for the Mini. They're specific. They fit well. Underneath the carpets look great, almost like those have been there the whole time. Nice door seals on these. Good weather seal as well. Didn't have any weird wind or any sounds like that. It was a little bit rainy, so it didn't have any water intrusion, at least from this morning's inspection. It's got this brown leather all throughout. Looks pretty good overall. I mean, there's a little bit of wear, but nothing I would consider to call notable. But just got to be obvious about it. We're going to move back here to the rear seat. Same thing. Not as much space, but these actually have quite a bit of space for the Mini Cooper brand, being the Countryman. All weather mats back here as well. Cigarette lighter back there for charging phones. Seat backs are in great shape. Seats themselves are in really good shape too. I'm gonna pause here, switch sides. All right, from the passenger side on the rear portion here, the middle does fold down. There's a little bit of cup holders there. I thought I would show it on this side. Same all the weather mats, interior doors, everything look really good. Great shape. We're gonna push over to the front. Same thing. Door card's in really good shape. Seats all really looking good. Glove box all works great. There is an owner's manual in there. A couple of things I want to point out. We did have a nick in the headliner there. There is also a couple nicks in the left rear or driver rear door card there as well. That's going to conclude your interior. All right, we'll start with the trunk portion here. One thing I want to start with is how you get into these. You actually push at the top and then pull up with that, and it will release. Rear portion here has a nice paneled floor here, folds out of the way, still has the net. This is the bottom here. I couldn't get it up without taking out this trim. I don't believe there's anything in there. When I pulled up the sides, it just shows body, and it's like glued in or something. Pretty straightforward. I don't believe these come with spares as space savers on Mini Coopers. Trim and everything looking really good. Looks like you have an option for like a speaker or something that's not on this. Maybe that's a motor. Seals all look really good. No signs of water intrusion or any kind of issues there. You can see spout's been working, or drain. Looks like the other one's on this side. Dampers work great. Holds pressure. That's going to be your trunk. All right, we always do a monitor test and scan codes and everything while we're looking at the vehicle. I always look at the VIN, make sure our computer and the car are on the same track. We got good checks throughout this whole thing. On the drive, everything went well. There is quite a few monitors that are not popping up. One thing I did find odd was that the evap and everything checks out green, but there is an active code for the gas cap. So it could just be like the gasket on the cap, or maybe there's just a small leak, because the monitors are still getting within spec and checking out appropriately. We're going to move over to our code scan here. All right, this is going to be the code scan portion. As you can see, like I was saying, there is a lot of faults that came back on several different modules on this car. Now, all of these are all electronic communication things. There's a couple airbag ones, evap on the engine and everything, but a lot of these are just low voltage. The USB did have an over voltage that's active. Everything else though checked out really well, no issues are stored. A lot of these voltage codes are stored as well. I did mention in the engine portion we do have a newer battery, so these could be since then. Maybe they didn't use, there is a device where you can like plug into your car to keep power to the brain when you're swapping batteries to help prevent stuff like this. Could be the case. Definitely something to kind of just get looked over and make sure these aren't some communications issues that are going on. This is going to conclude our inspection on our 2012 Mini Cooper. I did go into listing out all the numbers and what they're all for, more detailed in the information part of your inspection. All right, so this is going to be our conclusion portion. You had a few notes to check on this vehicle: turbo, transmission, cooling system, and overall maintenance history, like on timing and everything. Main things: timing chains are sealed, so one thing you'll have to have record. Without record, it's one of those things you'll have to take in and get inspected. Usually they'll have an inspection window Car gets them, it goes really well, got up to speed without any problems. These usually show like transmission issues if they're going to have them once they're hot, so I've left this vehicle running throughout the entire portion of my inspection. On the drive, all the manual options worked really well as far as shift points. Car kicks down really well too, gets up and goes. Haven't had the fans kick on. It's a really cool day. I've had the AC blowing inside, but seems to stay cool pretty well. We did note a couple like blemishes on the out exterior here. Overall, pretty clean inspection for a 136,000 mile Mini Cooper. We did have some notes for like interior damage as well. Just make sure to take note of that. This did have a few codes on the vehicle. A lot of them are stored and a lot of them seem voltage related. So this might have been part of the reason why we see a newer battery in there. One thing to do is see if you can basically just have someone clear all that stuff out, and if they return or not. It could be a matter of communications, but all I'm getting is overload and under voltage codes. There's a couple active ones for like the gas cap and stuff. He was pretty apparent about that. It does come on within a few minutes of driving the car, but overall this is going to include conclude our inspection here on our 2012 Mini Cooper